whoa, whoa, yeah. I'm feeling so alive, hearing the angelic sounds of our ancestors singing through the night for the supernova body. Listen to the realms of beyond, sacred wisdom healing my mind. Chakras align when I listen to supernova day. It's more than a podcast, it's a whole vibe, expanding consciousness as you shift your mind. Tune into the supernova body so you can raise your vibration. Don't be afraid to make changes and create a new you. It's more than a podcast, it's a whole vibe, expanding consciousness as you shift your mind. Supernova body, a cosmic party, new way of life, it's a supernova body.
Hello, and welcome to Supernova Body Podcast, Season 2. This is episode 11, and I'm your host, Simone Michelle. And thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate it, whether you're listening or watching. Today, I'm excited. We're talking about setting healthy boundaries because it goes hand in hand with core values, right? And we talked about that. We talked about choosing healthy people, but how do you stand on business if you don't know what that business is, right? So let's do that. Let's do that today. Let's talk about it. Let's be about it. The art of setting healthy boundaries. Okay. So what are boundaries and why do we need them? Are they to keep people out or keep ourselves locked in? What are they for? Well, boundaries are the limits and rules we establish for ourselves within relationships, any kind of relationships, right? So I'll give a quick example because I love examples and I love, who else am I going to use but myself, Okay, so in my home, I have an area that's called the no-no zone. It's the sunroom and the kids can't touch it. It is my sanctuary. Okay, it is a place where I go to recharge, and they can only come in by invitation. This is my healthy boundary. I have created a space for me and me alone, and they can only come in when invited. And they have their spaces. But again, this is my house, so that's kind of loose there. Moving on. So that is a healthy boundary that I have set within my home for my peace, right? I still pick and choose who can come in and when and how and why, but it is off limits. It is my space. Growing up, it was the really nice room where it was pointless. I used to think it was so pointless. My mom had a white room with a white couch. It wasn't white room. It was a white couch, white furniture. Everything was white, and it was so pretty, but she didn't want nobody sitting in there. Okay, that was her space. I get it now. It was a healthy boundary. Don't cross this line. This is my space. The rest of the house, y'all done toe up. Y'all done done what you wanted to do. This right here is my space. So, that's a boundary. Okay. Well, they're essential because they protect our mental, emotional, and physical well-being. They prevent resentment and burnout. Okay? Resentment and burnout are kryptonite They take you down. They take any strong, mighty person down. Um, yes, they also promote clear communication and allow for genuine connection, right? We are able to authentically be ourselves with people. We are able to um, ensure that this person understands us for real when we've set boundaries for them, right? And we've communicated that. That allows us to really foster a positive environment where people know the expectations. Can you imagine not knowing what's off limits and you're just walking around in a museum and you're like, ooh, I want to touch that. And there's no signs that say do not touch. You're touching everything. And then you get ready to leave and they're like, I'm sorry, we're going to have to take you to jail. You're like, what? Why? Because you touched stuff you weren't supposed to touch. It was off limits. And you're like, how the heck was I supposed to know that? I didn't see any signs. No one told me nothing. You didn't tell me when I've been touching things all day. Why didn't you tell me after the first one? We can't expect people to know what our boundaries are if we don't know what they are, right? And we can't expect people to respect our boundaries if we're not communicating them in a way that is easy for them to understand. It doesn't even have to be easy. Just communicate them, okay? Communicate the boundaries. This is my hard no. All right. Okay. And let's see. I separated my notes today, doing a much better job with that. Cool. All right. So types of boundaries. We have physical and personal space. So this is like touching, right? Privacy. Um, don't go through my phone. Like that is a non-negotiable. We are adults. You have your phone. I have my phone. This is my business. That's your business. Don't go through it. Right? That is a boundary. Um, you could be out in public and you could be a no hugger, right? Just be like, I'm sorry, no hug. I'll fist bump you or whatever. I mean, I'm a hugger. I like to give hugs, but let's say you don't like that, and that's a boundary for you. That's your business, and it's okay to have that boundary, right? Just communicate it. Say, hey, I like you. I want to be close, but I got a thing. Please don't hug me. Or no touching. Even with kids, you help them set that boundary early. Do not touch me. Do not touch me. I don't care who you are. This is a no touching zone. Don't touch. Emotional, protecting your feelings. So that can look like, um, girl, what's wrong? I'm sorry. I can't talk about it right now, but I'll talk about it later if I get to a point where I'm able. Okay, girl, I get it. Okay, simple as that. Simple as that. Okay. Um, or it could look like, um, can you come over? I really need to talk about X, Y, and Z. And it's like, no, not today. I'm not able today. I can't. You set a boundary. Today is not the day. Moving right along. You can also use a time or energy boundary. Again, in the same situation, using the same kind of thing, like not right now, tomorrow. I don't have the energy. I don't have the time. I love you, but X, Y, and Z. Um, for intellectual reasons and purposes. So, like, let's say someone is talking about something and it's turning into a debate, and you're like, okay, let me explain it this way. I really like the color red. And the other person is like, I don't. Okay. I like the color red. Okay. And this is not a debate. I don't need to know how you feel about it. I like it. You don't. Cool. But we're not about to change my mind about the color red. I've established that I like it, and that's it. That's setting a boundary. Telling that person, hey, that's cool. I mean, you're entitled to your feelings. I love that for you. But we're not going to debate about this. We're not going to debate about my boundary either. I don't want you to cheat on me. That's my boundary. I will walk away if you do. You're not about to talk about how I should be okay with cheating, about how high value or high level whatever men can do what they want. I don't care. I don't care. Okay. Thank you, sir. Moving on. That tickles me. Okay, material and financial lending situations. Okay, I don't lend money. I'm sorry. This is not me. I do. I give it freely whatever. But it's been given to me, so I give it, right? But this could be a boundary for you. And well, I will say there's people I don't love to. I won't give my energy that way. Um, so this could be a boundary for you, and you could say, I don't allow people to borrow money from me. I don't allow people to borrow my stuff, my clothes. I don't let people borrow my stuff like that. So I don't. I don't. And that's it. That's the end of it. That's the end of the conversation. I'm sorry. I don't do this. I'm not even sorry about it. I don't do X, Y, and Z. And that's it. There's no discussion, no debate. Oh, can I use your car to go to the store real quick? Do you have a license? Oh, no, I just need to go to the store though. Nope. I'm sorry. I don't allow people to use my car who don't have a license. Right? Do you have your own insurance? You don't have vehicle insurance? I'm sorry. I don't allow people to use my car that don't have insurance. You don't gotta apologize either. No, I don't allow that. Okay? All right. I'm glad you got that. I'm glad you got my no. Okay? You still want to go in my car? No. Have a great day. And then that's it. That's it. That's all. We're finished there. All right. There are also purposes of sexual consent, which is very important, and uh, the lines can sometimes be very blurry around this. But what that can look like is I'm going to give a couple situations. It could look like this person is into dating fireflies, right? And another person is like, I'm gonna be the firefly dater. Okay. I just really like dating fireflies. It just they're so cool, right? And the other person, I wouldn't date fireflies. I don't get what. Okay, that's fine. I mean, I don't have discussions about who I date. I was just letting you know that it makes me very happy. End of discussion. Boundary set, right? I don't allow people to challenge my interest in fireflies. That's it. Moving right along. Or you have someone and they want to come over to sleep over, and you guys have had some drinks, and you're setting a boundary early in the day that says, yeah, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do any of that. You've already set the boundary. This is not going to happen. And then it gets later and later, and more drinks are had. And then the person is like, you want it, and then you're like too drunk to say anything. The boundary was already set in the beginning of the day, right? Anything after that is subjective to whatever that person is saying, but they set a boundary. And so if we're respecting boundaries as ladies and gentlemen, we wouldn't push it if that person is not in the right mind, right? That's not real authentic consent. And I don't think that's subjective, but to each their own. Let's say someone in their right mind decided that, like, hey, we're not going to do anything. We're just watching a movie. That's it. But then things start happening and they're like, I know what I said. I would like to renege. Can we move forward? Now that other person has the opportunity to say, yes, I am okay with this, or say no and set a boundary that I'm going to stick with what you said originally. Because, hey, yeah, hey, um, these are all different ways that boundaries can help us, right? Both people are using boundaries to their advantage in that situation. And it gets real interesting when it comes to sexual consent because feelings be going and people don't be knowing. And then later they have regret. And it's like, you forced me into this, or you created this negative situation. And let's just avoid that altogether, right? Where we don't have to question whether it was a healthy situation or not, because we're doing whatever the boundaries required of us. We're respecting those boundaries and making sure that we're not forcing our will on other people, because that's what's most important. Respecting other people's boundaries while we also expect that they respect ours. Yeah. So signs that you might need to set more boundaries. You constantly feel overwhelmed, drained, or resentful. Like nice people, I've explained the difference between nice and kind before, but nice people often feel this way. People pleasing people often feel this way because they are not respecting their own boundaries that they have set. They start off the day and they're like, I am not doing anything outside of my job description. They get to work. Their manager, who has pushed that boundary over and over and over, asks them again to do something that's not within their job description, and they cave. That is a perfect example of reset them boundaries. Even if you did it a million times before, set it up, build that wall brick by brick. Shout out to you, Cynthia. Build it back up, build that wall, okay, of boundaries, not any other walls, but the one for boundaries. Okay, I'm saying this, saying yes when you want to say no. Woo. Just gonna, what more is there to that? Feeling guilty for prioritizing your needs. Again, self-care is not selfish. You are your best you when you take care of you first. Everybody gets to win in that situation, not just you. So don't feel guilty. Don't feel shame. Do it with a grin. Be happy about it because you need to be your best you. People constantly overstepping your comfort zones. Just because they're overstepping it doesn't mean that you don't build that wall back up brick by brick, because this is going to still be a boundary whether you want to step over it or not. And I'm going to help you get back on that other side because you ain't about to be over here in the no-no zone, okay? You're not. Chronic stress and anxiety. So if you are very anxious, constantly nervous around certain situations or people, if you are to check, it's possible that your boundaries are either not clearly defined or they're being violated. And that is causing you to feel a sense of unrest in your body when you're in these spaces, places, or with these people. And if you have an overwhelming sense of feeling taken advantage of, that's also a big red major flag that you need to realign them boundaries and get you some. You need to go ahead and get you some of those boundaries so that you can stop feeling that way. Because if you're giving from that space, you are not giving from the energy that is going to bring back to you. You are giving from energy that is going to create more take. And we don't want that. We don't want that. We want abundance, manifestations of money and prosperity and goodness and happiness and joy and love and peace and all of the fruits of the spirit and everything good. So set up them boundaries. I'm going to say it because I really like this story in the Bible. Jesus flipped them tables. Okay, he flipped them tables. Why did he flip them tables? Because why is y'all doing this here? This is not the space or place for this. So get it out. He set a very strong boundary. This is not the place for this. Move along. That's the boundary. And he said it by flipping them tables. Sometimes tables need to be flipped. And I'll just say that. All right. So what is the process of setting boundaries? The process can look like knowing your limits. So what does that look like? What does it look like to know your limits or know that you're getting close to a line? When you start to get tired, that is a great indication that, yeah, I'm reaching my capacity. I didn't pass it. Like I've got to notice when I'm starting to get tired, right? And be like, that's it. that'll do it. That's it for me. I'm gonna go on ahead and stop because I'm reaching my limit and not be an overachiever and push through. Okay? Respect that you got this boundary while you still feel whole, good, and energized. So that can look like leaving work at 5 because that is what you're paid to stay until, right? Leaving work and going home because that's all the energy that you are allotted. Not staying until you're tired because you might be there till 8 or 9 or 10 or whatever. Even if you work for yourself, set a bar, right? I'm only doing 8 hours today. I'm only doing 10 hours today. I'm only doing 6, whatever your capacity is. That's all you're doing. And when you reach that time, whether you are tired or not, you're stopping. You're done. You're finished. That's it. You've set a boundary for yourself. Respect yourself and respect the boundaries that you're giving. Again, reflect on what makes you comfortable, stressed, or resentful. Listen to your body for real. Identify your values. Take them core values and put them into practice. And what are your hard no's? Like, I don't care if Jesus, Buddha himself, Allah came down and asked me to do this. No, there are some hard no's, right? Um, identify what those are, and also identify what you're flexible with, where this is a boundary in these settings with these people. I am okay if they cross up to a certain point. That can get really tricky, right? But it's allowing you to understand, not but, and it's allowing you to understand that these areas are not hard, firm, protecting boundaries. These are preferences. These are things that I would prefer, but I am okay and I will not be imbalanced, anxious, resentful, angry, or upset if they are not done to my liking. And again, just like if you're in that what do you call it? That museum, and you're touching everything because you don't know. Make sure that people aren't touching everything in your life. Make sure that they're very aware of uh, what what is happening, right, and what your boundaries are. You know, it set them up front. You know, you could even make a nice PowerPoint and say, "Hey, welcome to my boundary presentation. I would like you to know all the ways that you should not get me effed up because you don't want to f around and find out." And then show them the PowerPoint presentation or the door. I don't know if they don't agree. You know, well, sorry, but this is what it is. Yeah, you can even make like a list of things. Just yeah, but can communicate. And if you forgot to communicate something when it pops up, hey, hold on, that's a boundary for me. Sorry, no sorries. That's a boundary for me. End of story. Moving on. Be consistent and firm all the time. Repeat it over and over, all the time. Do it. It's gonna be a boundary tomorrow. where it's not changing. It's still gonna be a boundary tomorrow. Nice to see you again here at the boundary line. It's still here. It's up. It's still here. Um, and then that can sometimes lead to pushback and guilt, right? People trying to guilt you into changing your boundary. I've used this example, and I'm going to use it in every situation it fits because to me it is insane. As someone, I've made my boundaries very clear in the dating process, and they really tried to convince me that I should be okay with someone sleeping with someone else so long as bills were paid. Hey man, this is not a preference for me. This is not something that I am willing to uh just be okay with, right? No, sir. uh I don't want to be in situations of sharing energy with people, sleeping with other people, having other wives. There have been several people that have tried that, and that is for who it's for, right? And more power to you for that, because that is amazing when it works. As for me in my body temple, I don't want it. I don't want it, and that's okay. If we're both agreeing to this initially and saying these are our boundaries, and then halfway through you like, well, I'd actually on Saturdays and Tuesdays like to, go on out and experience another vagina. I don't. Yeah, no, I. This boundary is gonna still be here. It's not a preference. It's permanently built by bricks, brick by brick. It's there. Uh, but people can make you feel guilty or try to push back on your boundaries, and just make sure that it's firmly built, deeply rooted here. This is okay. You feel that way. Mm, it's nice for you, but I'm not changing how I feel about my boundary that I built. Alrighty. Practical phrases for setting boundaries. So these are just different things that you can say to people. I've given some examples, but um, yeah, I'm gonna have to take a time out. Like I've reached my limit. I've reached my cap. That's it. That's the boundary. Um, yeah, that doesn't work for me. No, that's a no go. Yeah, my answer is still no. No, absolutely still no. If this happens again, I will definitely leave. Yeah. Yeah, no, I've given you lots and lots and lots of chances. Yeah, this is what will happen. And then follow through on that consequence. Where I fell at this between you and I is with my kids because I have no desire to do some of the oh it's not an everyday thing. There's sometimes I'm tired. I've reached my capacity and I don't have the desire to fight this fight. This threat I may not follow through on. Don't do it again. Because I'm going to have to follow through on it and I don't want to. Sometimes boundaries can be uncomfortable. They can lead to you being by yourself, okay? They can lead to you being very much alone. Or they can lead to you having to enforce things that you really don't want to enforce. Like, why we got to do this? Why? I was having a great day. I don't feel like giving out punishments. Sometimes I gotta really suck it up. Some days I just be like, bro, I'm gonna give you one more chance. I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. I don't know. But they know consequences for real. Don't do too much. Don't do too much. You're itching close. Okay. All right. What else? Uh, I, mm, I I can't go for that. No, no, no can do. Like I could do that, but I won't do that. You know, I could do a whole lot of stuff, but you won't catch me doing that. Those are ways to set boundaries. You know, my favorite is simply saying no. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, this is a good one for when you don't want to go out with friends, and I have to use this more than I care to. But I appreciate you thinking of me, but I'm gonna have to pass. Don't stop inviting me though. But today it ain't gonna work. And that's okay. That's the boundary. I can't do that. Or I don't like going to clubs, and this is personal. Don't invite me to that. But if it's a good brunch, we gonna eat food, invite me to that. Please and thank you. But I don't want to be in nobody's hot nothing, touching nothing. So don't invite me to that. But we going hiking? Count me in. It's hot, but I like that kind of hot. We going to yoga? There's people there. Put me on the ballot. But don't invite me to the club. I don't want to be in that space with those people. I don't. I don't know why, but I don't. And I don't have to know. I just know I don't want to go. That's enough. Okay. So set them boundaries because it is the beginning to self care. It is the most important step of self care. So once you design your core values that mean everything to you, go on ahead and set them boundaries around it. And guess what? Your life is going to change. But again, let's not be delusional. That might result in you losing opportunities, but they were never for you anyway. So that's okay to let it go. That might result in you losing friends. That's okay. They didn't align. That might result in you being alone for a period of time. That's all right. You're learning how to be strong in who you are. That might result in pain and discomfort. Yeah, but not forever. Not forever. As you learn to set your boundaries, your life begins to align with what that is, and you no longer have to set them because you just bring into you people that already are like that. Like, y'all share this. These are their boundaries too, so they wouldn't dare violate yours. As always, I'm so grateful that you took time out of your busy day or chill day or whatever kind of day you had to listen. And I hope that there was something that you got from this. And if you have a question or something, or you want to talk about something, go ahead, hit me up on social media as long as it's not too long. And I appreciate you. I thank you and I love you. And I hope you have a wonderful experience. And bye.